guys, today I'm making another bag, and this is the bag I'm going to show you how to make. I'll give you the details of the pattern and everything, and it's all about a bag of bags, giving for presents, just making for your friends and family, or using them as really handy craft bags to put projects in or to carry your projects around in. They're just very handy, so I'm going to show you how to make this one today. So I made this tote bag. I do have a video for that, I will link it at the end. And also a bag for your sanitary towels to go in. And also a little bag for your pocket tissues to slot into. Now when I make a bag, I always make a set of bags. So it's great to give away as presents, and also great for around the house for your items like craft stuff. It's brilliant for. So I'm just going to show you the next one that I'm making. It's a lot bigger. Now I'll just show you some of the other bag of bags that I've made. Here we go. I get a little obsessed with making a bag of bags. So here you go. This one's just got all my presser foots in and things like that. And this is why I always make a bag of bags, because they're just brilliant. You can get all of your craft stuff into one thing, or maybe a project. This one actually is for my rotary cutter that just slots in there. So I always make a bag of bags. Here's another little one, and this one had a design on, so I had to make sure when I placed my template on that the design was always in the same place. Again, this is another bag of bags, really handy. And what I do, see, if I get a offcut of material, I use it up till there's nothing left, even down to making really small little bags. I just use up every bit I've got for that one project. And to be honest, making bags is my favourite thing of all. I love making bags. And here's another one. Literally, I could just go on and on and on with my bag of bags. Every time I make a tote, I always make lots of little bags to go in it as a set. Right, so let's get started. Now, if you like this material I'm using in this set, it is actually a modern material rather than a recycled material. And this came from my local curtain shop, as they were making some curtains, and this was the offcut along the bottom, and it's been able to make a tote bag and a couple of other bags. It's called Salsa Diamond Baker Lifestyle. It is actually quite expensive, but again, it was an offcut, so always go to your local curtain shop and ask them, have you got any offcuts? And what I do is I put a donation into their charity box for any of the offcuts that I get from them. So really good, handy way of getting heavier weight fabrics for making bags and totes with. So right, let's get started. Now also with this bag of bags, I'm making, I want it to look the same as the pattern here. So I have got my trimmings to match here. And also I would like to put on a little label just to say I've made it coming out the side, because I think that just finishes any of your projects off with a label. It just gives it that professional touch, really. Right, so let's get started. What we're going to need is your material. Now you need 2 of the front and 2 of the back, or whichever, 2 of that template, 2 of that template. I'll show you the measurements. It is 8 inches by 11 inches, and I've just folded that in half and cut off the corners just to make the nice shape at the top. I always use that shape. I find it works really well. And then this piece is 8 inches by 8 inches. So you can cut out these templates out of whatever you've got. A cereal box is always quite good because it's slightly thicker, or any cardboard that you have to make your templates with, and then you can use it over and over again. Okay, now I'm just going to use a Sharpie to go round mine, because you sew in about 1/4 to 1/2 inch anyway, so you actually won't see this. I'm also not lining up the pattern, it's just going to be where it's going to be. If you have a certain design in the centre of your fabric, just place that wherever you'd like your design to be on the front and back. Now I'm just going to cut these out. Okay, here's the cut out pieces. So we've got 2 of that one and 2 of this one. So this is my favourite style bag to make. Now, because I'm wanting it the same as my tote bag to match, I'm going to arrange these trimmings on the front. I'll put it in more midway. Okay, so I'm going to go and sew that on. I'm going to place this just underneath. Then I'm going to place that one there and this one just over the top of that. And I'm going to go and sew those all in place using the correct colour thread for each one. Okay, so I've sewed along here. I actually used black cotton because that's what I had on hand, and along here I've also sewed this little pom-pom one underneath. Now I've changed my thread to a white and I'm just going to sew along the top and along the bottom here. And now I'm just coming down the other side. If I come in close you can see. So I've done this side, now I'm just coming down this side. Okay, so here's the one I've just sewn all the trimmings onto. Now what we're going to do is put pretty sides to pretty sides and sew 1/4 inch seam allowance along the top there. Okay, I've just sewn along there, so now we're going to flip that over and just finger press this level. Nicely finger press that. Check all your sides are level and everything marries up okay. Okay, so now I've done that, I'm going to go and do a little top stitch all the way along here. And there you go, top stitch all along there. Right, so that's that piece done. We're now going to sandwich all of this together. So you take your one bigger piece, put your other piece on top. Now if you've got pom-poms like this, make sure they're not too close to the edge. I've cut a pom-pom off each side, otherwise you'll end up sort of getting in the way of you sewing round. Okay, so line all those up and then the other one sandwich on top of that. Now you can pin all these into place, or you can use clips. I'm going to use a few clips just to make sure it all stays into place whilst I take it over to the machine. Also, I'm going to put a little label on my bag, and I've decided to do it on the flap this time, which is a different place to where I normally put it. So I'm just going to fold it in half like that, and I think I'm going to put it on the flap at the side. So to do that, I'm just going to turn it round and pop it in the seam that I want it on. So I'm going to pop it there like that and pin that as well in place. There we go. Now I'm going to leave this bottom section open and sew all the way around back to here. Now I've sewn around this all the way around, left the bottom here open. I'm just going to trim to tidy up. I did do 1/2 inch seam allowance, so it gave me plenty of extra room. I'm just tidying this up. I'm also just going to take off the corners when I tie this up. Trim off all these little tassely bits. And now I'm going to do a zigzag stitch all the way around, just to secure any ends from fraying. Okay, I've just done the zigzag stitch. I'll bring that close so you can kind of see the little zigzag stitch. I've done a normal stitch, then just a zigzag stitch around the outside. Okay, now it's time to turn it round. Just cut off any bits and bobs there. Right, so let's turn this round the right way. Push out your corners. And that's what it's looking like so far. So now we're going to need to just go and press that down nicely into place. Okay, I've now pressed that nicely. Now what we're going to do is turn through the pocket. Now make sure your seams are level both sides. And what we're going to do is sew a straight stitch along there, then a zigzag stitch to seal the end. So just make sure it's nice and clean edged before you start. There we go. So we're going to do a straight line and then a zigzag line just to seal the edge. Okay, I've now finished that, and I'll just show you just a zigzag stitch and a straight stitch. So we'll turn that back around, and then we'll go and press it again. Get those corners really well pressed out. You can even use your little pen just to get those corners out as well as you can. So we'll go and press that now, and also fold that over and press along the top of there. Okay, that is fully pressed along here and along the bottom. Now it's time to put the popper on. Actually, in America you do call these snaps. We call them poppers or press studs. So often I say poppers, and I'm talking about snaps. So it comes with a little tool. Now, I got this off Amazon. Love them, use them for so many things. I think they're brilliant. You also need your pokey stick. Those are all the colours. And today I'm using black because I've used black on all the other set. So you need a couple of front ones, a back one. There we go. Right then, so you might want to measure your halfway point. Make sure it does look square to your eye as well. And I'm going to pop the popper, I think, a little higher, about there. So just push that through the first one, your flap, and then the first bit of your case. Give that a little wiggle about. There we go. Now it sort of leaves an impression hole there so you can see where you're going. Push that one through from the front and then put your corresponding piece on the back. You don't need much pressure with these, they're really quite easy to use. Just a gentle squeeze. And then find the little impression hole you put in there. And then that one goes at the back this time, and this other little bit goes at the front. Right, pop that together. So there's your finished bag. It looks very professional. You've put your little tag on, or your label, or your charms. So here's the whole set. So this is my bag of bags. This is my tote bag. This is my sanitary pad bag. And this is the pocket tissue bag. So you've got a whole collection of bags there. So I hope this has inspired you to make a bag of bags. Maybe give them away as gifts, or start preparing them for Christmas, anything like that. I'm sure anyone would be pleased to receive a bag of bags, or maybe just for your craft things. I hope you liked my video. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. I'm always making something, so please subscribe for more DIYs. Thanks for watching.